A couple stretches. Figure I got a few seconds to fill before anybody hops on. Wonder what would happen one day if nobody hopped on. I pushed live. Everybody out there in the world had seen my show at least once and decided there was nothing to see here. Just some guy drinking coffee. I can go to a Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks or any number of breakfast joints at any time and watch a guy drinking coffee. I'm tired of it. I don't want it anymore. I can't stand it. Well, maybe I just sit here and drink coffee by myself. And maybe that'd be okay. Good morning, Dave Mason. Good morning, RG. Good morning, Road. Good morning, James. And good morning to you. Hello, Will Bill Chill. I was thinking about you. You're drinking coffee this morning. I'm proud of you. My name's Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Monday morning. It is October 14th, and it is about 5:47 a.m. Happy Monday. Coffee with Ken is a show I have been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking. It is a show about me sharing some feelings, telling little stories that I come across as I travel through life. It is a show that I really enjoy doing, but it's a show that I have some, I don't know, fear or anxiety about or trepidation about every morning. When I'm laying in bed and wondering what I'm going to talk about and wishing I could go back to sleep and struggling with all sorts of anxieties. But it is a show that I continue to get up for and do live every morning, and I'm doing my best to just accept it as it comes, if you will, and not worry so much about, do I have a lot to say, or is anybody going to watch, or how many people are watching, or will my content be of any value, and just all the doubts and fears that we have as we go through life, and all the wonderings, are we doing the right thing, and all the questions we have. Believe me, I have them too every day. And I say a little prayer. I think of some things I'm grateful for. And I climb out of bed. I start my coffee maker. I put some clothes on. I make my bed. I turn on the lights. I get situated. And I push the little live button. Good morning, Derek Jackson. Eric Carter buys a disco ball when things go bad. It's funny you say that, Eric Carter. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Year and change ago, I was working at Target in the cereal aisle, and I would tell everybody aloud, and the customers and employees alike, that I wanted to put some speakers and a disco ball in the cereal aisle of the Super Target of Warrenville, Illinois, and have the customers and the employees strutting their stuff, kind of doing their best John Travolta in Saturday Night Live as they walk on down the aisle and grab a box of Frosted Flakes. Despite my good intention, it never worked out. Never got that disco ball or the speakers. But it doesn't mean it wasn't a good idea. Anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know it is not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me. And I am so excited, although I'll get to it in a moment. Maybe I'll get to it right now. I'm excited to have my first sip. I'm so excited I'm going to put it down. As I was laying in bed, well, thank you, Silk Prince. As I was laying in bed and contemplating all the things I was worried about, fighting off all those anxieties with a little gratitude, I thought of my selections of coffee I had waiting for me. And it's kind of a mishmash of brands and flavors. There's a hazelnut, a toasted or a smoked butterscotch, a toasted coconut, and cinnamon one. And they're different companies as well. You know, there's an Aldi brand, there's a Frederick's brand, which I believe is the Meijer store brand. There's a Starbucks brand. I kind of realized as I was sitting there that maybe sometimes in life we can have too many choices. And too many choices causes, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just how you look at it. Perhaps a little anxiety, because I couldn't decide as I was laying there what coffee I was going to make, or which one I was really excited about, or if I was really excited about. And over the last 2 or 3 months, I've been popping in, or 2 months at least, have been throwing in the pumpkin spice by Starbucks 90% of the time, and really pleased with it almost all the time. But dude, I don't know, prices at the store. Prices at the store. Sometimes, are they dark roast? No, the last 2 brands I bought, the cinnamon and the coconut, which I'm about to have my very first sip of, if I can stop telling my story, are light roast coffees. You know, I'm open to all kinds. I generally get the dark roast. I don't know that I can really tell the difference in the tasting of it, but something about the concept of drinking a dark roast coffee seems preferred to me. But let's find out. I'm excited to have my first sip. My hope, and I know Bill Chill's got his coffee, my hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh. It's the toasted coconut. And it's quite nice. I'm surprised. Maybe it's the way I made it. Yesterday, I think, again, might be a Meijer store brand. I don't know. It's Fredericksburg or something like that. I don't know if that's a coffee brand or not. Stopped by a Meijer on my way home on Friday night. I was out at a football game watching my daughter cheer. And there was a Meijer on the way, and I don't frequently shop at Meijer, but I figured, what the heck? What the heck? Stop in, get some coffee. And this coffee was on sale. It's pretty tasty. Let me have another sip. Oh, it's nice. It is nice. It is nice. Oh, Dave Mason wants to know, what am I doing today? And earlier he was asking me if I'm going to Pete's Coffee. I don't know, Dave. I'm just waking up. I'm having my first sip of coffee. I might make it to Pete's today. I might not. I might go to the gym. I'm definitely going to work. Going to go about my day and have the best possible day I can. And I think the best possible day for me usually starts by doing a Coffee with Ken show and putting one foot in front of the other and not thinking about what I'm doing all day, first thing in the morning. And I think if I can keep my mind there, in the now and in the moment. My day, my week, my month, my year, my life goes a little smoother. So let's just enjoy our coffee right now. I think it's important for me to maybe be appreciated. And it's probably important. Hello, Julie Flanagan. It's probably important for all of us to be appreciated. I mean, I don't know how it couldn't be, but certainly for me. And to feel like we fit in and feel like we belong and feel like we're wanted. And I've struggled in my life feeling like I fit in. And maybe that's what Coffee with Ken is. Maybe that's what Coffee with Ken is. It's a show for those that don't feel they fit in by a guy that doesn't feel he fits in. I don't want to put words into your mouth. Maybe you guys all feel like you fit in or you belong or you mesh smoothly in a relationship or you find a job or a career that works out well for you and you smoothly slide through your day or your life. I wonder, do you all feel you fit in? Do you go smoothly through your day? I do my show from one man's perspective, and the thoughts that are bouncing around my head and the issues that are going through my head. And I believe we all have our issues. I believe we all have our issues. But I wonder if my issues are different. It'd be neat, again, just to hop in somebody's body or mind for a minute and see what their thoughts are and their worries are, or if they kind of walk through life going, la 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 la, la 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 la. Honestly, a lot of times I'm walking through life going, la 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 la. I'd say most of the time I'm going through life like, la 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 la. But sometimes I'm not. And then those sometimes give me pause and make me wonder and make me worried. Evans Rose, thank you so much for following the Live Creator. I so appreciate you following the Live Creator. A kind person named S told me to go to work. It's not even 6 a.m. It's not even 6 a.m. I mean, I wait tables. I work nights. My restaurant's not open at 6 a.m. I mean, it's not open for another 10 hours. Wonder what type of jobs. Even when I worked early in my life, a couple times I'd work real early. As a stockbroker, I'd get in at 7. We used to catch the train like it was like a 5:28 train. I was renting a home in Hinsdale, Illinois with my buddy and my brother. And we'd all work downtown and we'd catch the 5:28 train and get into work by 7 a.m. to attend the business meeting. And then get on the phones and be cold calling at 8 o'clock and spend our days cold calling and gathering leads and calling back 10 days later and pitching them a stock and trying to get them to send us 10 grand to buy a stock. So that's my memory of going to work early. And I don't think that was a good use of my energies or anybody's energies, really. Another job I started with early. Thanks for giving me my subject matter, S, who's told me to go to work. Was working at Target last year. And there was some value to going to that work early. The store opened. I think the store opened at 7. and I got in or was working at 7. And I kind of enjoyed going to work at that time. Again, I'm an early riser. Generally, I mean, I'm talking to you guys right now at 6 in the morning on a Monday, and I worked last night. So I think that schedule kind of worked pretty well. Working to 7 to 3. The job, not so much. But the schedule was pretty good. How many people we have on today? We have 30. Hey, people that are watching, do you mind if I go get a topper on my coffee? It's pretty tasty. And I'd like a little more, so go get yourself some coffee or twiddle your thumbs or think about things you're grateful for, and I'll be back in a minute. Oh. Huh. I wonder if I'm being a brand snob. Oh, hello, Stu. I wonder if I'm being a brand snob and imagining a flavor I don't like in my coffee I'm drinking this morning. I mean, it tastes good. I almost think I'm imagining an aftertaste that may or may not be there. Good morning, Josh Ogrand. It's so nice seeing a friendly name. Having Julie Flanagan here and Josh here. Cheers to you, Julie. Dave Mason wants to know if I replaced alcohol with coffee. No. I always drank a lot of coffee. I just used to also drink a lot of alcohol. And if you are going to replace something, it's probably not a bad thing to replace alcohol with coffee. Stu wants to know, how do we get one of my mugs? I don't even know, Stu. For a while, a few years ago, and this one's getting worn out, I started my show just about 3 years ago, I've been doing a version of the show for 5.5 years. And almost 3 years ago, I got separated from my second wife and moved into a buddy's basement for a period and started doing my show on TikTok and going live on TikTok on Saturdays. And started doing my show on TikTok and going live on TikTok on Saturdays. And again, one of my I had a buddy watch me doing it on a different social media platform, and he was watching with his daughter, and his daughter was I think I was talking about drinking and using alcohol as a crutch to deal with your stress and your anxiety. And I think the message I was saying resonated with my buddy and with his family who were watching, and they said, hey, this is important stuff. Why don't you bring it over to TikTok? And I was kind of hesitant. You know, to me, TikTok was a platform where young girls dance or sing songs or whatever. But anyway, his daughter edited one of my videos, and if you rewind, and it'll take you a long time to rewind 3 years back on TikTok, because I probably got, I don't know, 1,500 videos on there. But anyway, if you do and you go back to my very first one or two, they were edited videos from a live show I did on a different platform, but my buddy's daughter. And I knew I had a lot to say and wanted to keep talking and didn't want to, I mean, his daughter had better things to do than become an editor for a coffee talk show with no revenue and really not great prospects. But anyway, so I figured I'd have to figure out how to do it on my own and just started doing my own thing, and you can watch the show progress. But anyway, about that time, I said, hey, this is fun. I really enjoy doing coffee with Ken. Why don't we buy some mugs and give them out to my friends and family and as gifts and as to my viewers, and would give them out locally. And that was kind of cool to do. It felt really good to do. Still kind of wish I had the money to do it because it really felt good. I got so much joy coming by and bringing somebody a coffee mug, or giving a mug to somebody I met at Starbucks that made a difference in my day, or was hurting, or felt they could use a mug. But my thought at the time was that I would, I don't know, build the brand one person at a time, or from the ground up, or something like that. And that at that time I didn't realize, but I think I might have believed that if I told a buddy about my show and he watched it and didn't care about it or didn't like it, that my show wasn't important or good or relevant. And I believed at that time, everybody I came across should watch my show because it's me talking, I'm drinking coffee. But somewhere in the last few years, I realized that's not how it works. And not everybody's going to love what you do or like what you do or like who you are or where you're going. And that's okay. And that doesn't mean that your stuff or your life or who you are or where you're going is not working and not important. So I've kind of stopped doing the the marketing person to person, because I realized just because I started a conversation with somebody in a restaurant or at a Starbucks or during my day, it didn't mean they should watch Coffee with Ken. Didn't mean they should even think it's good or care about it at all. But that didn't mean that my show wasn't good or that I wasn't good or that I didn't make a difference. And when I say that, I'm not talking about me per se. Maybe I am, but I'm trying to tell you the same message, that just because you come across somebody in your day that cuts you off or gives you a mean look or doesn't like the way you did your job today, doesn't mean you're not important and you don't have value and you're not doing the right thing. And maybe what I started talking about earlier about struggling to fit in, I know I'm a little different. I know I don't fly below the radar. I know I ruffle some feathers. But most of my life, I tried to kind of hold back and not ruffle feathers and go along with the flow and, join a fraternity and, But what I think I realized as I went along and traveled life is that I was meant to be this person you see in front of me, and to be this person that might butt heads with somebody at work. Not that I'm striving to. I'd like to get along. I'd love everyone to love me, but, maybe that's not who I'm meant to be. And maybe that's not who you're meant to be. I don't know. But I started this show going, sometimes I feel like I don't fit in or, I remember talking to women at bars, back in college, and thinking how smooth some guys were talking to girls, and wondering why I wasn't smooth at talking to girls at bars. And figuring the way I would find uh, my smoothness would be by drinking a whole bunch of beers or doing shots or what have you. And that probably didn't create a smooth Ken. It just created a drunk Ken. And I think because of that, I believed drunk Ken was better than a sober Ken. And the only way I could be smooth with women or smooth in life or smooth and get along was getting really drunk. And somehow 3 years ago, and almost 3 years ago to the day, I don't keep track of days. I don't. I have people posting, I'm 872 days sober. Sorry to say it in that voice, but I can't help it. I say things in voices. But I do know the day I stopped drinking, and it's, I think, in 11 days. That's kind of cool. 3 years ago. It'll be 11, or in 11 days, it'll be 3 years, which is kind of cool. Hey, Lynn Ann, thank you so much for following the live creator. I so appreciate that. I have a lot of fun on TikTok. I bounce around. I cheat on TikTok from time to time, and I'll go on other platforms, and I still post these videos. Oh, Tara Jacobs is sending me pumpkins. Thank you, Tara Jacobs. Sent me 10 pumpkins. 'Tis the season. But anyway, I'll post these videos on different social media platforms. And I think it makes a difference, and I hope it makes a difference. And it's fun watching it grow. So I always appreciate when somebody hops on and follows the live creator. Jack Taylor, I see you commenting, and I appreciate you. I haven't responded to any of your comments, but I want to say a special good morning to Jack Taylor, who's watching today, and a special good morning to Tara Jacobs, who's watching today. And I want to say thank you for following the live creator user, and thank you all for watching, because I do appreciate you. And despite my hesitancy every morning as I'm laying in bed, and wondering if I'm going to go live, and wondering how I'm going to deal with my day, and then wondering about things that happened yesterday or last week or last month, and wondering what the best path for me going forward, and wondering what type of coffee I'm going to make, and people often ask me what I would tell. I had a guy come up to me at Pete's Coffee the other day, and he goes, what advice would you give me? He was Ukrainian. His name was Sergey with a Y at the end. And I thought it was Sergey with a E at the end. And I go, are you Russian? And it turns out, no, he was Ukrainian. I was a little concerned that he'd want to fight or something, because there's strife in the world right now going on between those two countries. But he rolled with it, and he understood my confusion, because apparently that name is common in both countries, and it is not common here in the States. But that's not really relevant to the story. But he asked me what advice I'd give him, because he's 38 and I told him I was 56, and I don't know, for some reason he was asking me for advice, and I go, I don't know. Do you need any advice? Are you struggling with anything? He thought I would just open up this book of information to him without knowing who he was or where he was going or if he was struggling or if he had any issues, or, and I don't want to tell anybody what they should do, especially if I haven't walked in their shoes, especially if I don't even know what country they're from. And he goes, well, what advice would you give yourself if you were 38? And I said, I probably wouldn't, because I wouldn't have listened. Because I had to live those experiences and get drunk and get married and get divorced and go through the struggles, and learn who I was my own way. If I would have gone back to my 38-year-old self and said, hey, 38-year-old self, don't drink alcohol. It's not healthy for you. I would have said, because I had to learn it on my own. And I'm not saying you can't pick up some insights from other people or from people that are experienced, but you have to be open to it and want to pick up insights. And if it's just me forcing my thoughts on you or a 38-year-old version of myself, I don't think I ever would have learned the lessons. Dave Mason asks, what is the best path forward? It's your next step. It's your next step. It's your next step. About 7 months ago, I was going through stuff. I was dealing with issues, and I didn't know what to do. And I literally didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know what to do. And I go, okay. Get up out of bed. Start the coffee. Brush teeth. Make bed. Go to car. I remember thinking, I was driving around in my car. I was trying to go to the gym, and I was going, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do. And I caught myself thinking that, and I go, drive to gym. Pulled into the parking spot. I just don't know what to do. And I caught myself thinking that, and I said, grab gym bag, pick up gym bag, open car door, get out of car. I don't know what to do. Walk into gym, change clothes. I don't know what to do. Start bench pressing. So the best path forward is the next step you're going to take. And I'd love to say, have all the answers for Dave Mason's wanderings in life and tell him where to go and what to do and what his best strategy should be and how he should solve whatever issues he's facing. But I think Dave Mason's got to learn that as Dave Mason walks down through his own path that is life. And I don't know what issues Dave Mason's dealing with, but I'd say walk through life with your eyes open, put some faith that you're doing the right thing or some faith in God that there's a reason that things are happening. And trust that if you do what you think is best, that life will teach you the lessons it needs to teach you as you go through life. But I'd ask you to remember the lessons we learn as we go along, because sometimes we'll touch a hot stove. Believe me. I am one to touch a hot stove more than once. I don't learn my lessons quickly. Ask Julie Flanagan, she'll tell you. I don't learn my lessons quickly. Sometimes I'll touch a stove and it'll burn me. I'll be curious about that stove and go, what's this stove got going on? Maybe I'll touch it again. Ow, darn it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I used the wrong finger. I'll touch it with a different finger. Ow! That still hurts. So be open to the lessons life teaches you. And try and get a little better. Try and instill good habits and enjoy the moments and enjoy the coffee and love yourself and forgive yourself and realize, okay, we'll talk about drinking really quickly. I used to have a good day at work and think I deserved to go to the bar or deserved to drink another beer or deserved, and I still do with like sweets. Hey, I worked out today. I deserve to, I don't know, get a box of Nutty Bars and eat the whole thing. But I think what you realize in life is just because if you had a good day at work or you went to church or you were picked up litter or did whatever it is that you define yourself as a good person. Maybe you deserve not to drink, or you deserve not to buy the nutty bars. And I'll tell you what, if you can combine the good activity that is going to church or working hard or going to the gym with realizing that you are worth, that you deserve not to do the bad thing, not to drink the alcohol, not to overindulge in a tub of ice cream. Why do I pick a tub of ice cream? Well, because last night when I got home from work, I sat on that bed and after having dinner, ate a half a tub of ice cream. And let me tell you, it was tasty. It was tasty. And sometimes I think I'm worth it or I deserve it. And maybe sometimes I do. Maybe sometimes I do. But maybe if you remember that you deserve not to do it, sometimes you'd really see change, exponential change. I'll tell you what, if I didn't eat that half tub of ice cream and I went to the gym today, I'd bet you it'd be pretty good for me. If you work hard or go to church and you don't drink alcohol, bet you'll see change a lot quicker. What was the message at church yesterday? Thank you, Jack. Wonderful point. We deserve to treat our bodies well. We do. Again, Jack, I bet you were talking about drinking. I think you drink. I know I used to think, hey, I deserve going to the bar. I earned going to the bar. 12 beers later, I wake up, I feel crappy, I crawl to work a little hungover, and I work hard, and then I deserve to go to the bar again that night. That's not a great cycle. A little hungover, and I work hard, and then I deserve to go to the bar again that night. That's not a great cycle. Not a great cycle. The message at church, it was kind of a mixed message. It wasn't a mixed message. It was kind of laying out what the next 5 or 6 weeks are going to be about. But I cried a few times at church. At the end, the rap about. But I cried a few times at church. At the end, the wrap-up song was It's strange. On this platform, people can request to join our lives. And I find it annoying because I have some random person sending me trying to join my live like 3 or 4 times. And I don't want that popping up on my screen. I don't want to let some random person join my live. I wish I could stop that. I am sober, but when I have a hard day at work, I go spend $200. Okay. Does it make you feel good? Might make you feel good. Might be worth it. You might be worth spending $200. Sometimes it's nice to treat yourself. Sometimes it's nice to treat yourself. I know, like, there's a pair of shoes I want, and I'm kind of going, oh, yeah, should I spend the money? You know? Couldn't that money be used somewhere else? And maybe it could, but I'll tell you what, it's nice to treat yourself from time to time. And if you have the $200 to spend, and maybe it could, but I'll tell you what, it's nice to treat yourself from time to time. And if you have the $200 to spend, and go spend it. Weebree, okay. How often do I cry? I'd say 3 times a week. Maybe say every day. At church, I often cry. If I'm FaceTiming my kids or saying bye to my kids, I cry a lot. Sometimes I cry at church a lot. There was a song that really made a difference to me. It There was a song that really made a difference to me. And several months ago. And I think the song was titled Same God. And there's a line in it, you are the God of David, and although I don't face Goliath, I face my own giants. And it was about dealing with issues. I mean, that line specifically stuck out to me. And it felt like it was meant for me because, yeah, I don't throw stones at a giant named Goliath. But we all have our own things to deal with. And it made me cry. And it made me cry 6 months ago when I heard it. And I'd probably heard it before, but I never connected with me. And it connected with me again yesterday. And I thought I like to bring Augie to church with me. And I thought of swaying back and forth with him at church while he's holding him in my arms while we're listening to the music. And I cried a little bit thinking about him. And there was a message that was given, and my oldest daughter likes to go to church now, which makes me smile a little bit. I think her life will be a little easier if she has some faith in it. And I remember looking up to the rafters last night and thinking about my oldest while I was at church, and wish she was sitting or standing or singing next to her dad at church yesterday. So I almost want to say there's a lot to cry about, but I think people would look at that in a negative way. But I guess I can't. What you guys think isn't really my business. I'd say there's a lot to cry about. And I think crying, I think we associate it with badness and negativity. But I think it can be a celebration, a release of emotions that need to come out. And hearing that line from the song, you are the God of David, although I don't face Goliath, I face giants of my own. And the release of the emotions and the connection to the words of the song. Yeah. Oh. So it's about 6:30. It is about 6:30. I'm somewhat concerned about my coffee. I might need to go out and buy myself a bag of Starbucks pumpkin spice and start anew. Throw out my whole collection of coffees that are staring at me and will make me feel guilty as I opt for the Starbucks pumpkin spice day after day after day. And they sit there and go, well, what about me? I'm toasted coconut. What about me? I'm smoked butterscotch. Jack ran out of coffee. Any tips for alternatives? No. Jack, there is no alternative. I mean, you could try tea, you could try water, you could try Coke, but I don't think any of them would smoothly. I like that Will Bill Chill. You're listening. See, Will Bill Chill listens. Those other coffees have their own followers. Stick to what you like. I appreciate that. Conga Mike is headed to the anxiety gym. I don't know what that means exactly. Hopefully it means you're feeling, hopefully it doesn't mean you're anxious, but if you are, the solution to your anxiety isn't hating on yourself or being stressed or worrying about your day. It's doing the next thing, the next best thing, and the next best thing, hopefully for you today, Conga Mike, is going to the gym. Julie Flanagan says, go for the gold as far as coffee. I might have to. I noted yesterday I didn't finish even close to finish. I think I just had 2 cups with you all and then didn't drink any more of the coffee. maybe, and I don't have any desire to cut back on my coffee consumption. I really don't. But maybe if I did, the key to it would be buying crappy coffee. Maybe I didn't have to quit drinking alcohol. Maybe I should have just started buying crappy alcohol. Any favorite brands aside from Starbucks? This is not a good moment to ask that, Jack, because right now I can't think of any favorite brands aside from Starbucks. I would often say I've tried the Market Pantry, which is a Target store brand, and the Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice. And I've done a taste test of all three pumpkin spices, and I think they were all equally good. But as I'm sitting here drinking this coffee that you might think is just as good as the Starbucks coffee, for me, it's just not doing it the same. For me, it's just not doing it the same. Well, we got a nice audience today. We have 47 people watching on this Monday morning. Feels good. The TikTok audience is growing fairly quickly. I don't know why that is. Every now and again, I post a video that gets seen by a lot of people, and a lot of people, TikTok determines I'm going to be a flavor of the day or a flavor of the week. And they're going to put my videos out there. And sometimes I'll think, oh, that was a really good video. That's why it got seen so much. I'll go, you know. I think most of my videos kind of are equally good. Some make me cry. And opinion on organic versus non-organic. Kelly R wants to know. I've never been one to buy organic stuff. You know, I'm more frugal than I am maybe health conscious, I guess. So I often, you know, I'm not sure exactly what organic means. Does it means not using chemicals? Maybe. I guess I don't generally like chemicals. So I guess organic's probably better. But I never have been one to seek out organic stuff. As a matter of fact, I've joked as I've opted for the lower price produce that organic's bad for you. But it's probably not. I just have never decided to spend the extra money on organic stuff. I would guess less chemicals are better than more chemicals. Oh, Judy's hopped on. Got a nice audience. We got a nice group of people today. Did I attend college? I did attend university college. Usually people from outside of the country refer to it as university. So I'm going to guess that person is from outside of the country. I went to the University of Illinois, and I graduated in 1990, and had a finance degree. It was a long time ago, but I'll tell you what, it feels like just yesterday. For any young whippersnappers out there that are 25 or whatever and looking at me, and they feel their whole life's ahead of them, and they're looking at me like I'm an old man, you're going to look like this pretty soon. Your hair's going to start falling, and time goes quickly. Time goes real quickly. You know, I'm 56 today. I had, I think 5 years ago, I realized the time goes quickly, and that I only had maybe 30 years left on the planet. And I knew drinking alcohol every day wasn't going to get me to where I wanted to go, and it was just going to numb me. And I wanted to see what I could do with my life or with the next 30 years. So I stopped drinking. And this is where it's brought me. to an extended stay riding a scooter in October. But still smiling, still doing my show, still moving forward, still working out, still making my bed, still forgiving myself and loving on my kids the best way I know how, and going to church and hopefully doing more good than bad. And it's Monday morning, and I am excited about my day. I don't even know. I was asked by somebody earlier in the day, what am I going to do today? And I kind of put them off and said, I don't know. I still don't know. I still don't know what I'm going to do today. I know I got work later today, and I know I have things I need to do, but my mind's not there yet. And maybe it's okay if my mind's not there, and maybe it's best if my mind's not there, and I'm just kind of enjoying the now, and enjoying wrapping up my show, and enjoying what's left of my coffee on a Monday morning. And I know I'm going to post this video on other social media platforms, and I know I'm going to grow my audience, and I know I'm going to try and get a little better today, and a little better tomorrow than I am today, and a little better today than I was yesterday. I think that's probably a good way to be. So, yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for joining on this Monday morning. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I hope you had a great, great night's sleep. I hope you're excited about your day. And I hope you're feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.